11 big mistakes keeping you fat, flabby, and pathetically rocking your dad bod. But that's okay, because I made them all too. Let's get to it. What's going on, guys? I'm Roar Alexander, men's over 40 body transformation coach and host of the Barbells To Buddhas podcast, the official place for men who want to live leaner, stronger, longer, and you know it, a heck of a lot better in their 40s and well beyond. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, it's going to be exercising smarter, not harder, although harder is in there, but I guess it's a matter of intensity, not a matter of just crushing yourself in workouts. There's a difference there. Enjoying exotic and delicious foods, of course, while staying lean and strong, which we'll be talking about today. Doing fun and exciting shit. Yes, traveling the world, making more money and buying fun things with that money. New skills, new friends, new social connections, and maybe even discovering a passion or two that will fire you up to never hit that snooze button in bed, jump out of bed in the morning, crush your goals in all those areas, and maybe even more, while making your new dreams a reality. And if that sounds great to you, then welcome, my friend, to Barbells To Buddhas. So today, I am going to talk about the 11 things that, and some of them overlap, there's quite a bit of overlap, but they are slightly bit different. But the 11 things that I did very wrong on my very long journey into living my fittest late 40s, that I now find it even easier than in my 20s and 30s, and much less restrictive and much more freeing, to be honest with you. And it's not that hard if you can. And well, I don't want to give it away, but let's just, you know what, saying that, I think what we'll do is we're just going to jump right into it with number one. So number one is the quality over the quantity. Now, I really am a quality food person. At the end of the day, and I try to get this through to my clients eventually, I always believe I should meet people where they are. So if with my clients, it's about getting them, say, from drinking Coke to drinking Diet Coke, then that's great. Now, if I can get them from drinking from, say, Diet Coke to maybe, and again, I'm not saying these are good or bad, they're really not, but I get a more holistic approach. I say, hey, let's maybe try going into a stevia sweetened cola, and then from there moving on down into just like a soda water or whatnot, some flavored water. But I am, at the end of the day, guys, I believe that, you know, you really should put the best substances into your body. You really should. There's things that I cheap out on, like this shirt I'm wearing right now. This is like a $10, not even 10, it's probably like a $7 shirt from Thailand. I buy my jeans at Old Navy for $30. But when it comes to my health and wellness, I will spend money on it. So I am a big believer in quality of food. But the problem is, and many clients I see do this, they always come to me. I had somebody last week, like 50 pounds overweight. And they said, oh, well, I eat well. And I said, explain to me what you eat. And they explained to me what they ate. And I said, you know what? You do eat well. You eat very well. Like you got all the foods checked off, but you're not focusing on the quantity of the foods. And there's a few areas we could go, but for this one, for this point one, it's you're just overeating the calories. So that's it. You're just focusing on the quality of the food, thinking, hey, if I eat healthy food, i.e., I will, get in shape. And that's unfortunately not the way it works. Last year, and if you follow me on, in my Facebook group, or I've talked about this in other videos, other podcasts, blogs, and whatnot, in my Facebook a lot, Instagram, I talk about how last year I really tried screwing around with the if it fits your macros. And it worked for me, but at the same time, I did kind of feel like a failure because I'm like, you know what? I'm not holding up the values. I value food, and I was just eating a lot of JBCs and just crap, just making sure it fit my macros. but it didn't fit my macros, it didn't fit my values, it didn't fit my micronutrition, my antioxidants. I wasn't getting any of that. Now, can you look great without any of that? Yeah. Can you lose fat without any of those antioxidants and all that sort of stuff? 100% you can, but you're never going to perform your best. It's like the gas, right? Yes, you can go you can go buy a nice Ferrari, Lamborghini, whatever. I don't know if you can actually do this, but let's say you just got a really nice car. Like I got a Jeep Gladiator. It's an expensive truck. Now you can put in the lowest grade gas, which I think is 87, and I do that quite often. But every now and then, you like to throw in, the 89 or 91 or whatever it is, the good gas. So my point is, your body, you need to treat your body like a freaking Lamborghini or Ferrari. So only put in the best stuff. Now, if that's expensive for you, there's lots of ways. I've talked about this in another podcast, another video too, where I've talked about how to eat healthy for cheap. I'm not telling you have to go organic and all that stuff. I'm just saying, you know what? If you're going to eat a hamburger, make it a really decent hamburger. But I'm going off on a tangent. My point here, guys, is that the quantity of your food is, and I'm going to argue, more important than the quality of your food. But if you can combine really great quality with the proper quantities, you, my friend, are going to be golden. So that's number one. So we can wrap that up with, calories in, calories out, right? So number two would be, I would get caught up. Now, this is many, many years ago. Because again, I'm 48. I've been doing this shit for like 25 years, right? So I'm talking like mid-20s, like late 20s right now we're talking about. But I would get caught up in the sugar-free, the Atkins, the original, not even the original, but the semi-original keto craze. So there's the fat-free craze, the sugar-free. And again, I would drive. I remember driving, again, I've told this story many times. I drive to the next town over because that town had a TCBY, which means the country's best yogurt. It was frozen yogurt. And I would go with my friend and we drive all the way there, a whole city away. Why? Because they offered sugar-free frozen yogurt with sugar-free hot fudge. But at the end of the day, guys, the calories, and looking back, the calories are almost the exact same, maybe a little bit lower, but not worth the drive. And then you go there, you say, well, it's sugar-free, and we'll talk to this in a minute, so you throw give me some peanut butter cups on that, maybe some extra sugar-free hot fudge sauce. So got caught up, guys, in all those trends and all that craziness. And today, it's even worse today because there's always a trend. Whether it's a workout trend like 75 hard or diet trend, carnivore, keto, vegan, if it fits your macro. I mean, there's something, right? Don't eat the oatmeal. Don't eat. Guys, I'm 48 years old. I travel all around the world. All the time. I love traveling. And I stay in shape. And my clients, they tell me, I go, what foods do you like to eat? Oh, I love pizza. I like beer. I like, what is it? They got one down in the States there, David. He's like, I love my cornbread with grits and gravy. We get it in there. There's ways to do it. So just do yourself a favor. Stop getting caught up in the this free or that free sort of thing, right? And just look at the calories at the end of the day. A lot of this is just calories, guys. Everything here at the end of the day comes back to calories. So really what I'm going through for the most part is all the different ways that I try to get around calories in versus calories out. Which leads me to point number three. Point number three, and again, you think you're doing a good thing, right? And you kind of are, but you aren't. And that is adding in good fats or adding in other healthy ingredients into your meal. So I remember this very clearly. I would make a big plate of like whole wheat spaghetti, and I'd go get, I'd go get some good quality sauce and some ground beef, and then I'd go, oh, but wait, you gotta have olive oil. So you take the olive oil, you sprinkle on, or do this, spin around. If you're watching the video, spin around the olive oil, right? Probably like 3 tablespoons of olive oil easily. It's like 400 calories right there. But it was good fats, right? Or I'd say, okay, well, I got to eat these other things. I got to add some of this on top. I got to add some shrimps because those are high protein. Or I got to add some avocado. You got to add some yogurt in there to make it creamy with all these other healthy ingredients. And they're healthy, guys, but again, it was just piling on more and more and more calories. So what you're supposed to do, now I know this now, is let's say I'm making that spaghetti. Well, then I I don't use regular ground beef. You'd have to find something that's really lean, like chicken breast. So you would take out, let's say the saturated fat, and you would replace it with the olive oil, the unsaturated fat. Or you'd have to balance it. You take out something to put on something good. So it's like, okay, I'm going to take out this, which is not so good, to put in something which is good. Which goes right back to the original keto thing, where it wasn't like sausages and bacon. It was healthier fats. The whole point was to reduce your kind of intake of all that saturated, like shitty, like processed meat fats and stuff, and replace it with things like avocados. But people weren't doing that, right? They were just going crazy, just adding in anything. So yeah, adding in healthy ingredients and good fats or good this or good that, but on top of what you're already going to eat, it's just extra calories. So there you go. And at the end of the day, guys, the best thing you can do for your health is lose the body fat. So adding in all these healthy ingredients, and yet it's putting you into a caloric surplus and staying fat or even getting fatter, you're not doing your body justice, even with all those healthy ingredients. Number 4 is just, again, calories, right? But little bites here and little bites there. Now, for those of you that know, I spend, most of my time, I'm Canadian, so I spend time in Canada. We have a chain of donut shops here, which is called Tim Hortons, which is, if you're in the States, it's very much the equivalent of, like, I guess, a Dunkin' Donuts there. But yeah, it's just like it's more of your blue collar, lower end coffee shop, with cheap, and I say cheap in quotes because it keeps going up in price, but like a coffee there, like a large coffee there might be $2.50, where at Starbucks you're looking like $4.50, right? So it's still cheaper. But I would go in there, and I did this all the time, and I would just get a donut hole, or what they call here a Timbit. We'll call them a donut hole just because people around the world probably know donut holes. It's just kind of those little round dough balls. And I would go, I'd get my coffee and a donut hole. Or my coffee and 2 donut holes. Well, they're just little bites. I could fit it all in my mouth. Hell, I could fit 2 of them in my mouth if I wanted to. So it's just a little bite here and a little bite there. But when I would do that, like I'd go in, get a coffee shop, say 4 days a week, and it'd be, a donut hole here, a donut hole there, probably, 8 to 10 donut holes at the end of the week. And then little things, you've been making your kids some food, you have a little bite here, a little bite there, especially dads are out there, or even moms if you're listening. Taking bites here and bites there. Even the other day I caught myself. I went to give Damon like his banana. He wanted a banana, and I took a bite, right? Just is what we do. But yeah, those things add up. And when I stopped the Timbits, I'm telling you, my body changed just from stopping the Timbits. Like, that is the difference, guys, when it comes to being in a caloric deficit or surplus. It can be as much as a donut hole. A donut hole a day can throw your game off if you're not tracking. So bites here and bites there, just stop. And that also goes, and I'll say this isn't even a point, but I'd be like just adding calories in. So I used to do, like, say 2 creams in my coffee. Switch the cream to milk. Do 1 cream, 1 milk. Whatever it is, you cut down the calories in half just by, if you get a cup of coffee and you put in 2 creams, just by having 1 cream, you've cut the calories in that coffee in half. Because black coffee itself, even let's say coffee with a stevia or Splenda, whatever, no calories, right? The calories in the cream. So by just cutting down from 2 creams to 1 cream, you've cut your calories in half. Now, number 5, and sometimes, and a lot of the times, the coffee and the donut holes came in here. That would be stress eating, and on the flip side, because a lot of people talk about stress eating, but we rarely don't talk as much about celebration eating or reward eating. So, a stressful day at work, whatever, you go in, give me a donut hole, give her your donut, whatever. But a good day at work, I'm feeling great, things are going well, I just sold some coaching, whatever it's going to be, you know what? Yeah, give me a donut hole to celebrate. Or I had a great workout that, oh man, I crushed it today in the gym, hit a PR on the squat, awesome. Donut hole. Or, I'll take the half hot chocolate, half coffee day because I earned it in the gym today. You didn't earn it, my friend. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not saying you can't eat that stuff, but you got to fit it in. You just got to fit in your calories at the end of the day. So stress eating and celebration eating are 2 more big ones that I really have to watch myself. So what you do now is you reward yourself, or you try to de-stress yourself in different ways. So I have a little meditation room. So you can go in there and go, or I'll just have, like, honestly, guys, a sugar-free root beer. Like I said, I'm a holistic guy, but I do like root beer. And I bought these last week. I bought these It's sparkling water with natural root beer flavor. And really, it tastes like soda water that somebody just poured a little bit of root beer into. Yeah, it's not doing it. Saying that, I'll be honest, I am going to try to stick with it a little bit. Only because what happened, and I've talked about this before, is that when you're eating the sweet foods, even artificially flavored, no calorie sweet foods, it can boost your flavor. It can make it so you need to eat sweeter and sweeter. So long story short, I think if I could stick with these, or even let's just say I switch back to soda water and I just do soda water for a straight 2 months, and I come back to these, more natural root beers, I bet you it'll actually taste pretty good, because that's what happened when I was in Thailand, right? I've talked about that story before, so I won't go into it here. But yeah, stress eating or celebration eating, that could probably be point 12, like retraining your taste buds, which I'll do a podcast on that another time. Number 6, and it's similar in a way, but not quite, is bargaining. So, okay, I'm going to have a chocolate chip muffin today. It's not on my diet. I know I'm going over my calories, but tomorrow I'll do an extra gym session. I'll do some extra cardio. I won't eat my bag on the bar, whatever it is. That can work, but if you do it consistently all the time, it's just not going to work. So just try to stick to your plan as much as you can. So stop doing so much bargaining. Stop, if I'll do this now and I'll get this later, or vice versa. So bargaining can really honestly mess things up a lot. All right, guys, I do have a quick ask. If you like what you're hearing, what you're watching, if you're on YouTube, for instance, would you do me a big favor? Could you hit me up with a 5-star review if you're listening to this? Or if you're watching it, could you give me a quick like? And if you have a second, would you be able to say something really nice about the show? And remember, if you don't have anything nice to say, I have 3 tips for you. Number 1, don't say anything at all. Number 2, take a second to perhaps review your life and maybe get outside and make some friends, because nobody likes a troll. So if you're one of those people that just likes to go on and troll people's content, I think those last 2 tips are something that you should really take into consideration. But I believe that's probably not you. So anyways, with that, let's get back to Barbells to Buddhas. So number 7, guys, is just simply underestimating calories. People do not know just how many calories are in most foods, how many they burn in a day, and exercise, how little calories get burned in exercise. It's not a lot, particularly gym exercise. Your biggest calorie burn is just literally being alive. Your brain, your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, muscle tissue. That's just what's called you're basically your basal metabolic rate. That's just your body's energy needs. The second most is what I'm doing right now, like waving around my hands, right? If I was using my standing desk, I'm sitting down right now, but that's called non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and that can be like up to 30% of your calorie burn. Exercise, guys, is like 3%, 5% if you're crushing in the gym, like maybe 7 days a week. But it's not a big part of your daily caloric burn. So you got to understand calories and just how much calories are in things. Probably what I'm going to do is pretty soon is I'll probably start doing some posts where I'll show 2 meals that look very much the same, yet the calories are very different. I'll just give you an easy one, and I'm not going to give you the exact numbers because I thought of this just now, but it'd be like, say, 1 egg with a bunch of egg whites versus like maybe a 3-egg omelet. You're going to have more protein, and you're going to have 1/3 of the fat, and fat is 9 calories per gram. So by doing what I just said, you would be getting in roughly the same amount, maybe a little bit more protein, but let's say it's 6, 12, 18 grams of protein in this meal. But because of 1 egg, you're only getting 5 grams of fat, where with 3 eggs, you're getting 15 grams of fat. And yet these things look very much alike on a plate. Of course, the egg whites are going to look a little less yellow unless you mix some turmeric in there, but it's going to be a very big calorie difference, and that's something that most people don't get. And you can do that with like bacon versus chicken bacon, for instance. There's so many things that you can do, and you can do that with. Now, number 8 is not enough. I divided this kind of into 2. The first one is not enough protein, or having foods with protein in them to up your protein intake, but at the same time is upping your calorie intake. So most people, I guess, you know what I did? I do a lot of consultations, and I've only had one person in the last year, who was getting enough protein. I don't even set mine high. For me, it's like 0.8 grams per pound of body weight. One person. People are just not getting enough protein, or, and I shouldn't say or, this is usually an and, they've been told they need to eat more protein, so they go and they eat foods that they think are protein foods because they do contain protein, but they also have a lot of calories in them. So they'll say increase their, they'll have peanut butter, thinking that's a protein source. They'll start to dramatically increase their eggs or their ground beef, or, you know, even turkey bacon, like things like that, right? But not realizing, hey, there's still, all those still have more fat calories outweighing them. Where I tell them, you know what? No, when we tell you about increasing your lean protein, got to make it more clear. Like I'm talking like, and it's hard, guys. I can tell you this: it's a protein powder, it's lean fish, whitefish, tuna, mackerel, shrimp. I don't even know if mackerel is one, actually. Tuna for sure, shrimp. It's chicken breast with no skin on it. It's turkey breast. It's specially bought ground beef, not even the extra lean stuff. Like we're talking specially bought ground beef that's like 96% fat free or whatever. So for most of my clients, it's usually just a protein powder to help them up it. But that's a really big mistake, is not enough protein, or thinking that, hey, I will eat these, so-called protein foods, and yet they're eating very high calorie foods and not upping their protein a whole lot, but quite often upping their fat calories would be probably the biggest one I see. So that's number 8. Now, number 9, and I guess 9, I kind of already blew this one, I guess, but it's a similar to 0.7, but the opposite is overestimating the exercise calories. Or, and I guess we could probably tweak it with this one, it's probably a little bit better, thinking the gym was all the movement that you need, or that I needed, for instance. Like at a point, I was doing, depending on what gym I was and at what point in time in my life, I was doing Krav Maga, kickboxing, CrossFit, all in the same week. Or I was, really heavy into Krav Maga for, about a year and a half, couple of years, really heavy into CrossFit for years, really heavy into kickboxing, got heavy a little while into jiu-jitsu, and just truly overestimating the amount of calories that exercise burned, or just thinking, hey, you know what? I did all this today, so I can go eat what I want. And again, it's like I said, very similar to 0.7, but it's just not it, guys. Even those workouts, a few hundred calories at best. And like I said, those donut holes are a few hundred calories. So you combine a few donut holes, which is a few hundred calories, with the workout that only burned a few hundred calories. You are setting yourself to either be at caloric maintenance, which means you're not losing weight, or, and probably more often than not, a caloric surplus. Now, number 10, and this one I didn't do too much, but I will see people just taking flexible dieting too far. And like I said, last year and a half ago, I got in great shape with flexible dieting, but like I said, for me, it's just when you're just cramming your face just full of all the crap, just making sure it works. First of all, you tend to be hungry a lot. And 2, you're just not getting the amount of nutrients you need. And it usually ends up kind of backfiring because, like I said, high caloric, tasty foods, they don't keep you full for very long. So you just end up overeating. So taking that flexible dieting too far is quite often just a recipe for disaster. I would really say, again, it's like that 80-20 rule. 80% of your calories, 80% of the food you eat, guys, should be really good, high quality, good quality dark chocolate, really good purple yams with, sprinkled in coconut flakes, really good quality meats and seafoods and delicious, healthy, home cooked meals. And then that other, 15 or 20% can be some junk foods. Hell, if you want to go really crazy, go 90-10. Say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to try to aim for 90% great food and, just 10%, a little bit of stuff every now and then, which brings me to number 11. And this was probably one of the biggest ones for me, definitely in my late 20s and early 30s, very much in the fitness competing days. So I competed in my first and only fitness model show when I was 29. So we're talking right around that 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So kind of in that kind of 6-year gap. I think I was really, really bad when it came to this. And that was epic. Well, just cheat days. We'll start with this. Just cheat days and cheat meals, which then became cheat days, which then became cheat weekends. And I got friends that can tell you when they would come over to my place on, say, a Saturday evening, and I would literally be on my lazy boy, because remember, crushed it at the gym that day, and that's all the movement you needed. So you come home, relax with a lazy boy, and I had this place down the road. You get it was like 2 pizzas. We're talking like, this is like early 2000s, early 2000s maybe. So you got like 2 pizzas for $12 or $13 back then. So I'd have a pizza, it was pizzas too, but there was the lasagna, the 5-pound trays of lasagna. And I packed, that's the big one, the family size one was me, packing away the lasagnas. And then after that, when the lasagna was made as much as I could with the whole thing, maybe half the thing, whatever, didn't matter, because then it came the Rolo ice cream or Oreo ice cream. I'd be sitting there with the Oreo ice cream. They'd come in, I'd literally be passed out sleeping. They walk in and I was like in a coma from the epic cheat days that I would have. And then going, okay, I'm packing like 5,000 calories. So let's say I'm in at best, probably a 300 to 400 caloric deficit over 5 days. So let's just do the math here just for fun. Let me get my calculator up. So let's just say, I'm going to go with this. Let's say I'm in a 500 caloric deficit times Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll say 5 days. So that means I'm down 2,500 calories. Well, I would eat my normal food that day. So I'd wake up and have my breakfast. It'd be like pancakes or something for breakfast. By the time I got done even that one meal, I was probably at 6,000 or 7,000 calories for the day, maybe 5,000 at least. So that whole caloric deficit I did during the week was just destroyed Saturday. And then, of course, you're that age, what are you doing? You're going out to the bar. So I went through my straight edge phase, but then with straight edge phase, you'd eat hamburgers and pizza and stuff, or coffees with lots of cream because I didn't drink. And then we went through the phase, where it's like you go out and you drink beers and all that sort of stuff. So just epic cheat days, cheat meals, and cheat weekends that just, they don't work. And nowadays, I don't do cheat stuff at all. Well, I shouldn't say that. So if I'm training for something and I really want to look good, like next year, I do plan on competing. As I mentioned earlier, there's a fitness show my one and only fitness show I competed in when I was 29. I plan on going back for October. It's the last week of October. They always do it at Halloween because it's called the Halloween Mayhem Show. And next year, 2025, will be the 20-year anniversary. Yeah, the 20-year anniversary of me doing that show. So I want to go back there as a natural guy at 49 years old, just like I was when I was at 29 years old, except without doing all that ridiculous crap I just talked about. And so I'll probably, for those last few months there, I'll probably buckle down pretty hard, and I'll probably do more planned cheats than just kind of fitting it in. That's what you got to do when you really want to cut down a lot. But I'm not talking like normal people cut down. Like I'm talking about like you're getting ready to step on a stage, which is a very different kind of fitness and very different kind of health transformation. So won't talk about that today, but I will probably start squeezing in some cheat meal here and there. And it could even be just like a cheat mocha. But again, still watching the old calories because it's the most important thing. Anyways, that's a wrap, guys. But remember, while this may be the end of the episode, it could be the start of your transformation. And what better place to start than getting a free copy of my No More Dad Bod Roadmap. This is a men's only quick user's guide to ditching your dad bod to get the body you dream for the life that you deserve. Now, how do you get it? I am glad you asked. You just have to visit Roar Alexander. I was going to say www, don't need that part. Just roaralexander.com/no more dad bod. Download it straight to your inbox. Anyways, guys, remember, until next time, I'm here to help you do what? I'm here to help you live leaner, stronger, longer, and as always, if you do it right, a heck of a lot better. All right. Talk to you guys again soon.